That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Did the smart thing there, Frank. Took his medicine, back out onto the fairway. So, Frank, with this approach shot, need to put it in there reasonably close and hope for a bogey.
Yeah, and that actually wouldn't be so bad. A string of mistakes, and just to minimize the damage to just one drop shot, you nearly give yourself a pat on the back.
You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. Pretty good shot right there. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just a sloppy hole, no other way to say it, and it results in a double bogey. Frank, so often a U.S. Open is defined by difficult par fours. How does the fourth here at Chambers Bay stack up?
Well, Richard, adds to your list here, 495 yards. That says one thing, but the fact that it's anything other than straight, bunkers left and down the right side, plus the hole bends to the right. So this is a very strategic hole. If anything, something slightly left of center, but you're still going to have a lengthy second shot. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
It can't be that good.
This is a good-looking shot. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That's a head-scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. These putts keep the round together. So close, just a tap in from there. Six over par on the round right now. Fifth hole here at the U.S. Open. Frank, why do they call it free fall?
I guess because you can make a mess here. You just keep going down. Bunkers left and right. There's acres of sand on the left and right, and just one little measly bunker, but it's smack bang in the front of the screen.
And a huge elevation change from tee to fairway.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. So, Frank, out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. Well, by getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
Solid play, heart of the green, and getting ready for the putt. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Back down now to hole number 6. Frank, you know this. You can't win a tournament in the first round, but you can lose it. As we catch up with our featured golfer, they need to turn this around just to make the cut.
And turn it around now.
Just pulverize that golf ball. Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
We're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. On the green with about 30 feet to go. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie. It's that sneaky distance.
I don't know, maybe lifted right there, just sort of peaked. No one likes these. Putt for double bogey. Wait, that looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
Been a rocky round. Well, Frank, this is what a U.S. Open is all about. A long, tough par 4 up the hill.
Yeah, just a beast. And it's a dogleg ride on top of that. There's more humps and bumps and all this than a dermatologist would ever dream of down there.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Locked in on the read and the speed. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
Well, too bad. He gives one back. Frank, we know we're at a U.S. Open. 500-yard par 4s, and here a better than 600-yard par 5 at the 8th.
Yeah, you need a missile really off the tee to be able to reach this par 5 and 2, and not a single bunker really on this hole. So this is just long every stretch of the way. The fairway actually looks a little bit narrower than what it is. There's a little bit more fairway than actually what meets the eye at first.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
On the green, short, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. So just a formality here. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, I thought he made that. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
This putt for par. Everything has gone wrong today. It just continues to be ugly. Frank, the 9th hole, called Olympus. I mean, that is very grand sounding. Like something that...
You're talking Greek god here, aren't you? Come on, this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie.
Second shot.
Well, he knew it right from the start. Just a poor putt. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Whew, this is tough to watch.
I've already got my eyes covered.
Frank, the nice thing about golf is that if you struggle on that front side, you can take a breath and you can regroup and you can get something going on the back 9.
During a round of golf, there's so many little things you can do, especially when you're a little awry. Check the ball position. Maybe you're starting to focus too much on swing rather than actually the shots in hand.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole, long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole, with a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that dune out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the fairway. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than, they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that dune, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of this green, so you've got to be on the right level.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Settles in over the putt. He can't believe it. Thought it was in. So a tester from 4 feet. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Measuring 311 yards, the 12th Frank seems to offer an opportunity for a player to do something pretty dramatic here.
Yeah, it's called the Narrows. Really, it should be called the Temptation, because what player stands on a tee knowing he can reach and doesn't take up the gauntlet?
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. These putts keep the round together. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the car. Coming down the stretch here at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. Just 6 holes to play. And Frank, this par 4 13th will really test the players.
It is. If someone makes 3 here down the stretch, it will be monumental. A 4 here, no one would leave this hole unhappy.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Headed for the bunker? Well, a bit unfortunate. In the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. On the green with about 30 feet to go. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey.
That was cruel. It looked like it was certainly going in.
Been a rocky round. Frank, a fifth consecutive par 4 here at the U.S. Open. This is the 14th hole, and I'm guessing by the time you set foot on this tee, you'll know exactly where your game is at.
Oh, this one here, great reward for someone that's driving the ball well. If you can drive it, down the left middle, avoid that little one-pot bunker in the middle of the fairway, you're going to certainly shorten this hole up. And then you can start to use the contours of this hole too, that bend right to left. And 546 yards becomes much shorter than what you would think.
And from the fairway for his second shot here.
Safely on deck.
Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Sevier-esque.
Getting set now over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
In for par. ...167 yards on this hole. It's the 15th at the U.S. Open. Nice little par 3.
Oh, fun hole. Well bunkered with that. Once again, a bunker on a dominant side of the green. This time the right side. And one little pokey bunker there on the left side. Green's big enough. A few little contours in this green. Magnificent view, of course. But it's fun to have a hole that's not overly long.
And that's how you play the game. Right there. That's good work right there. The former national collegiate star moves inside the current cut line with a birdie. Now to the par 4, 423 yards, 16th hole. What's the right play, Frank?
Fairway first once again. You'll see the slope of the fairway from the left to the right side. It means move your aim down that. He goes after it like he is here.
Just pulverized that golf ball.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Frank, the beauty of golf, you never know when you're going to find that spark and begin to turn it around.
Yeah, well, that's why you can't just quit in the middle of the round. You've got to believe that something good is just around the corner, and this just might be it.
Well, thank you at last. A birdie. That was a long time coming, Frank.
Yeah, finally he strung some shots together. Now, if all of a sudden he can do the same on the next hole, he might just get a run going.
Pressure's beginning to rise here. 17th hole of the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. And this one, Frank, the par 3 will require a really good shot.
It's amazing how many U.S. Opens have great 17th hole. I think of Winged Foot, par 3, 17th, even Marion, par 3. This one will certainly fit in the same vein. It's named Derailed, and it will derail many a player trying to win a U.S. Open.
These are the kind of putts that keep a round going about 10 feet away for par. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, I thought he made that. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Not going so well for him. He has this for bogey. Everything has gone wrong today. It just continues to be ugly. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
And yet again, he has hit it off the tee and into the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down. I mean, the first rule when you're in a bunker, forever and a day, get it out.
Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again. Fourth shot ahead here. Fairway bunker. Make sure you take enough loft. You want to get it over that lip, carry that ball all the way to the green.
Needs a good one here. Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's an outrage right there. I mean, if there's a high commission of golfdom, we need to consult them right now, because it's just simply not fair, Frank. It's not.
I think the people above are frowning on the people below.
Well, not an especially good start to the tournament, Frank, through one round. They might be in jeopardy of missing the cut.
And they have to remember right now it's just one round, and they are, as you were saying, in the outside looking right in at the moment. But you never know. I've seen golf tournaments won from further back than this.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Frank, what happened there on the approach?
It was a poor decision. And let's see now. Got to think this one out a little bit better than that second shot. See if we can get it up and down.
That one was running so hot. Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away. Instead, straight in. Amazing shot. And really deserves it.
Been some good golf early on. Let's get you caught up as we go out to the 7th hole. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
When you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where he's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. Gave that the full treatment. Get up. Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That is impressive. Hit every single green in regulation today. Well done. And getting ready for the putt. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just keeping the leaders within sight, Frank.
Doing a good job, really. Leaders at the moment, they seem to be in a playing to a different level, but top 10, interesting over these next few holes.
Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It is only 165 yards. Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
We move to the 9th hole, and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard, and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally, you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course, everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
And that one into the bunker.
Again, I don't know how much sand those shoes are going to hold, but we're going to find out.
That'll be from about 90 yards away. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Stays at 1 under with that par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. This one's looking good. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Well, this one's tracking. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. Now to the 7th hole here at Lighthouse Point. Frank, we all love the shorter par 4s.
There's so many decisions to be made here at 7. If you look at the scorecard, it's not very long, but when you start to flash your driver down that right side, you'll notice that fairway gets very narrow. So the decision is really, that's the prudent play or not. From there, it's just a short iron in, and you should be looking at birdie.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Setting up for the shot from the sand. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid.
And that's where the men separate themselves from the boys. That was just a beautiful bunker shot.
That's skill right there. Well, yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Well, a bit unusual. A third par 3 now on this front side. We're at the 8th. It's 165 yards, Frank.
And this par 3 looks nothing like the previous two. Heads towards the edge of the cliff there. Long green, almost a figure 8 or an hourglass shape. Bunkers left and right. Gonna have to be straight here.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Very impressive and on the move right now. Now to the par 5 9th. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult 3-shotter than what you were anticipating. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Well, he really moved that one. 320 yards and in the fairway.
Second shot.
Third shot, looking for a good one. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Settles in over the putt. starting to pile up the birdies. 5 under par for the tournament. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Come on, you can't hit a ball that hard.
That is crushing it beyond all crushing.
You don't want to make a habit of it. In the bunker again off the tee. You'll need to get all of this one. 200 yards, the second shot. Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
This is a good-looking shot.
I think if we stretch the tape, Rich, we might get to 29 feet.
This for par. Starting the back 9 on a sour note here with a drop shot. Bogey at the 10th. Gives back a shot and now drops into third place after the bogey. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards. And more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. That, Frank, is position A.
Wouldn't you like to have that in your bag every day?
Love it. And from the fairway for his second shot here.
Surely not.
It is on the green, but that will be a tough putt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
This one has a good line. Wow, Frank, I did not expect that. An eagle. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. New course to most of the golfers on tour. This challenging layout just opened in 2015. Today we're along the east coast of Maine. Rich Lerner with Frank Nobila. We'll be calling all the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point.
Another great design from Brand Patel, and they really threw the boat out here. Some excellent choice of holes, and you'll see the changes in elevation. Get this on a windy day, and of course 7,700 yards will play even longer than that. A nice calm day though, Rich, and you really can shoot a good score out here.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is a beauty, a real beauty. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Goes to 6 under par for the tournament. What a display of golf. Fifth hole now at Lighthouse Point. Frank, it's a beefy par 4.
Another hole without any fairway bunkers off the tee, but really the main defense here at the cliffs is the elements. Find the fairway, and you'll also be hitting to a green which is protected by a little bunker to the right side of that and short. So precision, once again, required here.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. Birdie try up next. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. Got to fly that. Green's not too deep. So really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, you can feel the momentum shifting.
You can. It might look tight at the top at the moment, but you definitely get the impression we're going to see a change in the lead very soon.
Beautiful birdie right there. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
And it makes the green in regulation. See if you can get this one to drop. Big birdie putt. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. And that wraps up the 3rd round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present a long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic.